He's dominated the competition in 2025. And now, world number 1 E.J. Tackett takes to the lanes here in the postseason, ready to battle one of his arch rivals, Anthony Simonson. It's the quarterfinals of the PBA playoffs, and it's next on FS1. You inside Strobel Arena at Thunderbolt Lanes in Allen Park, Michigan for the quarterfinals of the 2025 PBA playoffs. In the first round, Anthony Simonson, Kyle Troop, Jesper Svensson, and Chris Fye advanced, the latter two in roll-offs. Now the quarterfinals are here, and it should be spectacular. Welcome, everybody, along with multiple Hall of Famer Randy Pedersen and Kimberly Pressler. Drink it all in, everybody. I'm Dave Lamont. Randy, last week we had some great matches. We had high-scoring matches. We had tense, low-scoring matches. But I don't think anybody threw the ball any better last week than Kyle Troop and Anthony Simonson.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they really showed up for those two matches. Both players averaging 244 between them. And let's start with some highlights from Anthony Simonson last week. He took on the Players Champion, Ethan Fiore. And in Game 1, it was all Simonson, 258 to 200. In Game 2, more Simo as he wins 230-158 to move on to the quarters. Simonson was perfect on the right lane, never missed. Our next matchup featured Kyle Troop and Tim Foy Jr. Troop throws the last 5 in Game 1 to eke out a win, 224 to 212. And then in Game 2, how about this? Troop throws 11 out of 12 for 265 to punch his ticket to the quarters.
And those highlights brought to us by Bowl TV. You see at the top of that bracket right there, the #1 name at the top, the #1 seed, of course, is E.J. Tackett. Blew the field away this year. He has accomplished so much. He's going to be Player of the Year again. But Randy, and you know this, of course, he has not won this event.
He's never made it out of the quarterfinals in this event. Kind of hard to believe. E.J. Tackett, we saw him earlier in the season capturing his 3rd consecutive world championship. Here you see him right there getting it done once again. He's going to earn his 3rd straight Player of the Year honors based on all of his work here in 2025. Our opening matchup is going to be a stellar one, right? Simonson-Tackett. Keep this in mind. Tackett on television against Simonson, 1-4.
And E.J. is standing by with Kimberly right now.
Thanks, Dave. So, EJ, you've made 9 shows this season. You've won 4 titles. They just talked about you going for your 3rd consecutive Player of the Year. You're the #1 seed here today. So, at this point, people just kind of expect you to win every single time you step on the lane. So, how do you handle that pressure and the expectation that people put on you to win?
Well, you know, there is a lot of pressure, but, you know, I expect myself to win every time I shoe up. We know that's not reality. It's not possible. You're not going to win every single time. But every time I come out here, I come out to win. But at the end of the day, you're competing against the best players on the planet. So you have to stay sharp. You have to stay at the top of your game. And I'm playing against someone today who is exactly that.
Do you feel like the spotlight is a bit brighter when you come to big events like this?
Yeah, I mean, it can be if you let it. Obviously, I have a few more obligations, but that's part of the territory. It comes with it, and you just have to deal with it and go out there and bowl the best you can and hopefully hoist a trophy at the end of this thing.
Good luck to you today.
Thank you.
All right, thank you both very much. E.J. Tackett, Anthony Simonson, this could be special. In the race to 2, which is very simply this. You get a point for winning a game. If you get to 2-0, you're moving on. Right for Simonson. He cleared out a lot of junk, however, and holds only the single pin to shoot at. Anthony last week threw it extremely well against Fiore. And we'll see, Randy, what his ball strategy is going to be and to see if it's changed at all.
use that urethane on the left lane exclusively for just one game.
Yeah, if I remember last week, he was the first guy out of it.
Yeah.
He was very quick.
Without
Others
question.
hung in almost to the bitter end, but not Anthony.
One game and done.
Ooh, there's a familiar sight. E.J. Tackett, 10 in the pit. We'll take a look at today's oil pattern, powered by Kegel.
Dual pattern, the Billy Hardwood Hall of Famer, 44 feet on the right, and the bat 37 on the left. Urethane early on the left lane, reactive from inside on the right lane. Looks like EJ's going with a tank on the left lane. That's not urethane, it's not reactive, it's a microcell polymer.
Oops. And that, whoops, he almost got a strike out of that and nearly got a messenger to rip the 9 out.
That was actually pretty good.
Yes, it was.
Ball, look at the ball, it just ends up in the 8-pin spot.
Tackett covers easily on that 9-pin. So the race to 2 in graphic form. 1 point per win. If tied after 2, it will be the winner of the roll-off winning the match, which we had 2 times last week. Jesper Svensson and Jacob Buttriff got into it hot and heavy. And then Chris Vye defeated Ryan Barnes in a roll-off.
Simonson going with level on the right. That leveled to 10. It's a very mild reactive resin ball.
This isn't yours, right? It's not mine.
And on the left lane, Simonson is using the IQ Tour 78. U for urethane. Here's his arsenal.
Well, that held absolutely beautifully for Simonson for a double.
Right in between second and third arrow, not a lot of shape. Keeping everything in front of him and on line.
Oops. That time he had reason to worry about the shot. That's a 2-4-8-10 for Tackett.
Hard to get it back from that spot. We talked about it last week. You get it too far to the outside, it's going to hang. You got to really just barely cut the 2-pin into the 10. The 4 and the 8 will be taken care of.
And an early open frame against Tackett. Take a look at some of the numbers from Simonson and Tackett in the 2025 season. Not at all surprising to see the strike percentage leading the PBA with strike after strike percentage and clean frame percentage virtually even. Oh no. We saw that happen, Randy, a couple of times last week to others. And now it just jumps up and hits Tackett right in the chops.
That was violent. One of the fastest pocket 710s you'll see. This is a really good shot by Tackett and a really bad break.
Good shot, full penalty.
Even just to make it worse, it was a messenger that threatened to take the 10 but never followed through.
Yeah, we call that the teaser.
So the 11-year pro, or pardon me, 13-year pro is going to take a seat in a bit of a hole against Anthony Simonson. His 12th year as a PBA pro. In this building, that memorable match against Gary Haynes where Anthony had to win twice, won the first game, but Haynes prevailed in the second for his first title. Well, if any of the pros on today's show bowl a perfect game, everyone in America can receive a free game of bowling courtesy of Go Bowling. To register, visit GoBowling.com and sign up for the Go Bowling Free America promotion. Anthony will have one re-rack left in this game.
Last week, Simonson perfect on the right lane thus far through 4 frames, perfect on the right lane. Got the dual chamois going.
He was so good last week.
Yeah.
Just really in complete control of everything.
Yeah.
And continues to be in control as we approach the halfway point in this race for 2, game number 1.
Yeah, mentally just really kept it together. And another beauty on the left lane. We call it the left lane. It's actually lane 10. But as far as we're concerned, it's the left lane, the right lane, lane 11. No ball return in the middle.
Oh, yes. That's a nice comeback. Tackett, the runaway favorite to grab a 3rd straight Chris Schenkel PBA Player of the Year honor. And he would join the legend of Mark Roth with 4. All right, he's settled down with a double. The problem is he's way back at the halfway mark. Simonson enjoying a 46-pin advantage as he's on pace for a 290. Early trouble for E.J. Tackett, and it doesn't help that his opponent is taking full advantage. Anthony Simonson with the edge in the race for 2, game number 1 of the PBA playoffs. The PBA on FS1 is sponsored by Go Bowling. For friends and family fun, log on to GoBowling.com to find a center near you. Anthony Simonson rocking 4 straight against E.J. Tackett, who skidded in the 3rd and 4th frames. Came back with a double, but Simonson with a decided advantage here. And he almost got burned with a pocket 710.
See how low he gets to the foul line, that upper body just parallel to the floor. See that ball, not a lot of flare, very low hooking reactive ball, or very minimal hooking reactive resin. Maybe all about a 2-inch flare.
That's
that
it.
Ball, yeah. Think of it this way, Dave. The more flare on a bowling ball, the more hook, the stronger it's going to be.
And that messenger's going to just drop into the pit, so another single pin for Simonson to shoot at. Lead shrinks just a tiny bit.
Kind of looked like his hit on the right lane, didn't it?
A little bit.
7-10.
Yeah. 7 was late getting cleared out.
All right, let's get out of the floor and talk with Motive Tour rep Brett Spangler. And Brett, what type of advice, what do you talk about during the break that EJ Tackett can use moving forward?
Well, you know, honestly, Randy, it was one bad shot and 2 bad breaks. He knows that. You know, just made sure that he knew that the third frame wasn't his hand, that it was just the angle off of it, and you know, there wasn't a whole lot besides that because the other 2 were good shots.
Brett, thank you. Mustache is looking on point.
Did it again.
Now you hear him say did it again. So he strikes there, Randy, but I got the impression he wasn't happy with it.
Again, it was a little bit farther right down lane than he wanted it, but this one, he got so much of it at the bottom of the swing that he gets it to turn the corner. I would say maybe another half-inch right of that and at 2-4-10s again. Or excuse me, 2-4-8-10s again. Remember that number, 4.8. Anything right of that down lane, and I don't think it gets back.
Our next match after this will be Graham Fa versus Kyle Troop. Well, he will love that.
It's not over.
No, the lead's down to 24 for the first point in the race for 2.
Keeping his hand up the back to try to keep that urethane ball on line, and it's what we call high flush in the biz.
Simonson clean through 7.
Real clean. Bad back and all, he still managed a pretty nice season. 9th in the point list. 2nd, as you mentioned, at the Masters. See that 3rd step going big time to the left, helps get his hips cleared and out of the way. See if you can pick it up here, even though it's not directly behind.
Well, his record in the majors really helped him with the playoffs. 2nd at the Masters, as you mentioned, 5th at the U.S. Open, 8th at the Players, 22nd at the Worlds. That is exactly worthy of an oh boy.
Scenario. Best case scenario there.
And that number is starting to shrink.
I can only imagine what he was thinking of what combinations could be left on the deck when he saw that ball come off his hand.
Remember the 4 count at the Masters?
Yeah, I do.
All right, 94% of the time the 610 is converted. We get all of our great stats each and every week out here on the PBA Tour from our dear friends over at Lane Talk. For more information, head on over to lanetalk.com and download the free app.
Well, EJ Tackett can make this 10th frame really interesting if he goes off the sheet here.
Can't shut him out, but he can sure make him think about it.
And Tackett has thrown 4 in a row. I'm sorry, did I say 5 in a row? I meant to say 5 in a row.
Well, you said 4.
Yeah, well, I just said 5 because suddenly, whatever in the world happened in the 3rd and 4th frames, kind of just almost like a glitch. But man, is he pure now. I was just about to say pure power for a strike.
2 solid 9s and a pocket 710 here in game 1 for EJ Tackett. And this will be all she wrote. Wow. Looks like Simonson just needs a mark, or is it? Nope, just needs good count. 8 on the first ball for Simonson with a strike here from Tackett.
2 9-pins and 7-10 on this.
I know, EJ, I said it, and you're right. all on the left lane. All right, it's 2-11 opener for Tackett. 7 on the first ball for Simo, and he'll take game 1.
Simonson was swept Ethan Fiore.
Thank you.
Last week. You're welcome. Simonson takes the first point in the race for 2. Tackett's got to get this point coming up and force a roll-off, or he's out as the number 1 seed. So let's go back to February 7th, 2022, Royal Pin Woodland, the U.S. Open, as Anthony Simonson would beat E.J. Tackett 232 to 165, become the youngest bowler to win 3 majors. The best of the previous mark, 25 years, 43 days, set by the brilliant Hall of Famer Dave Davis. And he has that first point against E.J. Tackett.
Just make sure I throw a good shot, because I feel like there's plenty of hook there on that lane. There's plenty of hook. So
yeah, I was actually going to say, like, if anything, it's just a tiny bit over it or something.
I did that too, and it ripped off a bit more. So
That's ridiculous, though.
I always 9-pin with urethane twice, and 17. Yeah.
So it sounds like he's going to stay with the urethane on the left lane and stay in that same zone. But I think the adjustment has to be ball speed to get it through the front part of the lane. That front it's starting to look like it's burning up a bit. Simonson went high. EJ's last shot on that lane went high.
There was a conversation again with his ball rep, Brett Spangler. And there he gets an old-fashioned mixer with the urethane ball. So if Tackett does not win this game, he's knocked out of the event. He has never gotten out of the round of 8 here. Simonson would then move into the semifinals with another point.
About a half a mile an hour faster on this shot, Dave.
So my question to you would be, so he mentioned the 2 9s in the pocket 710 with urethane. Was that a hint that they might get out of it eventually, or that was just saying, matter of fact, that's what happened?
Oh. No, I think it was more disbelief, because he said that in reference to throwing the urethane ball. He's like, I'm throwing urethane and I go 2 9-pins and a blower 710. But EJ, your rev rate is like 540. I mean, he could leave a solid 9 with a marble.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, we just saw a solid 9 for Simonson.
I mean, you wouldn't think you'd leave a bunch of 9-pins throwing urethane and going really straight, right? And so that was what he was referencing. Now, Simonson just left one, but that was with reactive resin, and you could see a much sharper downlane reaction with the ball change he just made. Went to an Attention Star S2, but he's staying with the Thane on the left.
Yep. And the 5 takes a dive. Take it, because this was a clean wipe of the pocket presented by Dude Wipes.
The Paralyzer 5.
Take that.
It almost didn't go.
No, it required some extra assistance. One more little swipe to get it down.
Good one. Oh, and it does.
Wow.
Very nice.
And I got to make sure, watching the ball take the 9 out, we weren't going to have any more solid 9s, at least not in that shot. And a double for Tackett to get things started.
You see the break point there, 8.2. Remember, the one he got the farthest right that actually got back to the puck was 4.8.
And that was with that ball.
About a mile an hour slower for EJ on the right lane than the left.
And that will leave a stack. 2-8.
Interesting in his soundbite, he said, I feel there's plenty of hook on the left lane, and this one doesn't hook.
91, I'll call it 92% rounding up. Our lane talk stats on this 2-8. Good cover.
All right, game 2, Tackett has to have it to force a roll-off.
Dang it.
How about the two guys who've won the Pete Weber Missouri Classic are both in this game? That tells you something right there.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Simonson's 4th top 8 appearance. He's made it to the semifinals twice with a best finish of 2nd in 2020.
Defending champion Bug Kroll did not qualify. And we are also having a PBA playoffs minus Bill O'Neill, which feels weird.
Yep. Newly inducted to the Hall of Fame, Bill O'Neill.
Yes, sir. That wasn't a difficult decision.
No, that was a no-brainer.
Look out.
There you go. Three, 4, 6, 7, and 10. Ball over here to the right side of the 3, cut it into the 4-7.
Got it. Yeah, no, got a little too much of that 3, so first real trouble spot for Simonson in this race to 2 against EJ Tackett. The issue, I guess, is I'm wondering what his next move is going to be equipment-wise on that lane.
I think it's a great question.
Oh boy, particularly a great question. All of a sudden, EJ Tackett looks like the #1 player in the world again. Registration for the 2025 PBA LBC National Championships is open to bowlers of all skill levels. The PBA LBC National Championships is returning to the Chicago area and includes a division for everyone. You can compete in singles as well as optional doubles and team events, and even combine your scores with the pros. Enter today at pba.com/LBC tournament.
Good shot. That time he made sure he got it.
Just a little over 19 miles an hour.
Good shot. Good shot.
And he gets a mitt full here, and I'm going to leave the stubborn 10.
Smothers it. Almost sent it back into the channel. But a narrow match again between these two, and it got ugly late. Simonson able to pull away, but you see the max scores. And one thing we know about Anthony Simonson, Randy, is that he is not shy about changing equipment quickly. Might be one of the quickest at it of anybody out here. And the pins are fighting back.
6 wrapping around the 10. Broken many a ball return. Many a ball returns have been broken by myself, leaving those corner pins. But that was when I was a much younger player. You know, once I came out on tour, I stopped doing that, as far as you know.
Probably would have added up to some fine or two if you actually did it in real live competition.
I broke a foul light once. I got fined for that. That was Kyle Troop's dad turned me in. Guppy. It cost me a few bucks. I deserved it.
And yet to this day, you still talk to him.
I love Guppy.
How can you not?
I know, right? Moved in.
And took a little speed off of that, right?
Moved in, slowed it down just a pitch, and got the corner out.
Interesting. So we stayed in the urethane. EJ Tackett needs a point or he's knocked out of this event. Anthony Simonson just threw a beautiful strike. So Tackett up in this match. Up for point number 2. Can he hold it? We'll see. EJ Tackett with a 17-pin advantage over Anthony Simonson. The big difference in, as you see in that 4th frame on the big board, was that 3, 4, 6, 7, 10 that Simonson was hit with in the 4th on a poor shot. Perfect, not a question. Critics call first things first an entertaining, unpredictable joy. Don't miss Nick Wright, Chris Broussard, and Kevin Wiles with fresh, unscripted sports talk. Weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern on FS1. Yes, sir. There we go.
Oh, my. That was aggressive.
Getting rid of that 10-pin cheat that it is. It was wiped out. The clean wipe here presented by Dude Wipes. This one's going to hurt a little bit. That 10-pin got smacked.
Yeah, but one thing's for certain. That pin deck is clean.
Oh, no!
Better than he thought he'd get. That, oh boy, that was because of the miss left. You can see the break point right there, 9.6, and that ball held its line.
Nice break.
Understandable sarcasm from Anthony there.
It's like, you let go of it. Nope. Hits pocket. Yep. Pin carry. Nope.
Really cool.
Solid 9 in the 1st, solid 9 in the 7th for Simo. Tackett trying to even things up and take this to a 9th and 10th frame roll off.
And a little tapper on the 10 to make sure that happened for Simonson.
Interesting that Simonson's actually slower with his ball speed on the left lane. Tackett's faster. They're playing the lanes exactly in reverse. Tackett slower on the right. Simo faster on the right. 7-10 goes late.
And 4 for 4 on the right lane in game number 2 for EJ on that lane.
He likes that one. If this goes to a roll-off, I think that EJ will start on the left lane so he can throw 3 shots on the right. And he's proven he's got a little bit of room on this right lane, especially down lane.
Isn't that the trick? The more miss room you have, the better.
Absolutely.
pin obliterated that time. Boom! Along with the rest of them.
See the max scores right here, folks.
And we seem to be headed to that roll-off. If it happens, it will happen very quickly after the game ends.
Simonson looking at another ball.
Planning ahead.
Yeah, looking at the XL.
Oh, couldn't possibly like that result.
Fit inside a target. That ball looked like it had a lot of surface to it.
Four out of 5 on these 3 6-10s for the pros. That was a combination spare and intel shot in a way.
That was definitely an intel shot. If it was a spare attempt, he would have used plastic.
Ah.
Look how slow he's getting on that left lane.
He was above 17 the last couple of shots. Again, staying in urethane, but now he's dropped it below 17 miles an hour.
The question I have is shaping that urethane ball as much as he is. If he's not perfect in the pocket, can he carry the corner? That time it was straighter.
And he was perfect in the pocket.
I'm being told that was a different urethane ball.
Okay.
That was much more direct. Much farther right, much more direct.
And a little faster.
Yeah. Mile and a half faster. All right, we're going to a roll-off, folks.
EJ Tackett, naturally, as the #1 seed, will have order and lane choice. All that his way as he looks to be hand rested and ready for this roll-off.
9th and 10.
Not a total shock to see this go down to a roll-off when you think about these two and how tremendous they are. They would split a pair.
He's definitely going to finish on this lane.
I'll start over there.
There you go. It's official. And he's already told tournament director Tony Lanning he'll start on the left.
Nine in a row on the right lane. Make it 10.
Thank you.
All right, so here one more time will be the rules for this roll-off.
Scissors.
Good try, Anthony. Good try. It's a 9th and 10th frame. The higher seed has chosen the order already.
Did he try rock, paper,
He
scissors?
did. Simonson, ever the clever one, trying to come up with a way to sneak it past EJ. And it's just the highest score wins. It's that simple. And if they tie, we'll have a 1-ball roll-off. Doc. That's a good try. All right, there's your composite ball on the left. In the middle. Oh, it was a little high. And he'll have a single pin to shoot at before moving over to the right-hand lane for his turn.
Pinch high, leaving the 4. Simonson now can strike on the right, strike out on the left, and it's over.
Simonson on the right lane to start. And oh wow, right behind the 10.
Looked like one was in front and one went smoking behind it. Let's take a look at this pin action. Yeah, there's the one laying in the channel, and then the one behind it.
Tackett cannot be locked out.
Nope. Now again, Simonson back to the left lane. Remember, he was trying to shape urethane, then went to another urethane ball and went much straighter. So what will he do here? Which plan of attack? Shape it or pipe it? Shape it.
And it didn't work for the strike.
Not I, never I.
That's exactly what I said just a few frames ago with him trying to shape urethane on that left lane. If he wasn't dead flush in the pocket, could he get the corner out?
And the evidence is right here. You see the 6-pin just did nothing. The winner will be in the semifinals and will take on either Kyle Troop
We'll
or
figure that one out.
Graham Faw.
When we do, I might be able to beat people. Be pretty easily, wouldn't it?
Yikes.
Yep. Back-to-back ring.
It's okay to clap. It's all right. It's all right.
Back-to-back 10 pins on the left.
Yeah, I think that he felt the crowd was feeling sorry for him, and he didn't want that because it's not over. EJ Tackett has to execute. 9 spare and strike will take care of it. But this lane and Tackett are besties at the moment.
Loved it as soon as it left his shoelaces.
What is that, 12 in a row in that lane? 11?
That's 11.
Yeah. Probably gonna be 12.
Needs 9. What a beauty. 16 out to 7. 10 in the pit.
I'm gonna wait for that.
Somebody's phone.
Oh yeah, yeah. You can clearly. They got the old-fashioned phone ring too. Fans are warned before the telecast starts to silence their phones. Game, set, and match. EJ Tackett has advanced in the PBA playoffs to a level he hasn't seen before, the semifinals.
You said it best. Him and the right lane are besties.
12 in a row. He threw a bizarro 300 game on one lane. This is our Pilgrims moment of the match. Chicken can be boring, but Pilgrims is turning chicken nuggets upside down like that 7-pin. I love it. You love it. Put it in a nugget. Put EJ Tackett into the semifinals. Tackett will take on the winner of Kyle Troop and Graham Faw. And we've got a special guest coming in for that match. Chris Barnes is going to join us. EJ Tackett, the top of the bracket. He stays at the top of the bracket. Now next up, the 12th seed. Kyle Troop against the most consistent lefty on the tour in 2025, Graham Faw. Lefty, righty, 2 hands, 1 hand. We'll pick up this match when we come back. EJ Tackett has advanced to the semifinals in the playoffs for the first time. That takes us to our frame of the game presented by Beatbox.
Simonson gets up, leads 3 consecutive 10-pins, setting the stage for EJ Tackett, and Tackett just does what Tackett does. He doubles in the 10th to claim it. He's moving on to the semis.
And the frame of the game is presented by Beatbox, the original party punch. Beatbox, what's your flavor? Please enjoy responsibly. And guess who's joined us? Hall of Famer Chris Barnes, along with Randy and Kimberly Pressler's over there. Of course, we'll hear from her in just a moment. Let's get your thoughts on that opening match, Chris.
Well, I don't know. You could kick it off any better. You had two of the behemoths on tour. These two guys are two of the best shot makers, two of the best players, and the most tools to go with it. Slugfest all the way, and really decided the match.
And it was EJ. You know, this is interesting, Randy. We talked about it at the top of the show. This is the farthest he's gone in the playoffs, and I'm just wondering how much more confidence, like he needs more, that he's going to get out of this.
Well, obviously, he got real comfortable on that right lane, and being the higher seed, he got to choose to finish on that lane in the roll-off, so that was a big help for EJ.
We talk about confidence. We talk about that head space, that deadly space between your ears, and that is part of today's Pressing Questions with Kimberly Pressler, presented by Go Bowling.
Andrew, what is something you do to improve your mental game?
Yeah, I work with a mental performance coach, Dr. Dean. It's really hard to accept that you have to work on your mental game first off, and then to actually do the things needed to make it better. It's somewhat awkward at first, but you get the hang of it.
I try to keep it simple. I like to just focus on making good shots, not try to overthink things, and just stay in the moment.
I want to say play Sudoku. I would say read, but I have not read. Yeah, see, I can't even talk now. I have not read enough this year.
I feel like putting yourself in situations where you get tested mentally is really the best way to learn. I wish I could say I read a lot of books and stuff, but I don't, so I just bowl.
Tom, what is something you do to improve your mental game?
Not enough, obviously.
My mental game is awful this year. You got to be as positive as you can, and you got to manifest that, and if you're positive, then that will just spread throughout your area.
Just accept the bad shots, accept the mistakes, and just try to not do it again.
Tommy, what is something you do to improve your mental game?
Oh, I wish it was something better than I've been doing, but I just try to remember there's no remote to rewind time. You're not going to be able to change what happened, so all you can do is learn from it and move forward.
All right, now coming up, it'll be the lefty Graham Fa versus the well-read Kyle Troop. 12 versus 4, race to 2 in the PBA playoffs with a semifinal berth at stake and a match next week against EJ Tackett. And here we are, the 2025 PBA playoffs, week number 2, the quarterfinals. And the PBA is proud to have Bowlers to Veterans Link as the official charity of the PBA Tour. In today's BBL Salute to Veterans, we welcome retired U.S. Army and Navy Master Sergeant Skip Nairn, who served for 31 years. Sergeant Nairn, thank you for your service. To donate, go to bbl.org. So the bracket has changed just a touch with EJ Tackett making it into the top 4. He'll take on the winner of this match with Graham Fa and Kyle Troop. And they are standing by with Kimberly Pressler.
Thanks, Dave. So, Graham, this is your 3rd consecutive playoff appearance. So what is your technique to stay focused during these high-pressure events?
I mean, just treat it like any other event. You know, the fans are going to be great. Hopefully I can throw enough good shots and give them something to cheer for.
Good luck to you today.
Thank you.
And Kyle, you've always done well during the playoffs. You made it all 6 years, and you've won it twice. So the 2 belts have to be fabulous. But what is it about this event that suits you so well?
I love the format, and I love the fact that I can just focus in on one opponent at a time. And I'm pretty confident, like you said. I've won this event a few times, and you know, I love the format. So we're going to lock in and get it going.
Good luck to you today.
Thank you.
Well, he certainly did last week in his sweep. He threw it really well. Second game, 11 strikes.
Yeah. How about 16 out of 17 to close? Winning that first game, basically stealing that first game from Tim Foy Jr. and then just put it on him game 2.
Now, interesting here, Graham Fa as the higher seed. He's going to have Kyle start things off.
I think interesting right off the bat is Kyle is not using urethane on this left lane.
And he went way off the break point.
We haven't seen one that far right. So the question, Chris, is did Tackett and Simonson stretch the left lane out long enough for reactive resin to become a factor on the right side of the lane?
And able to kiss away the 8. Recover a tough one there. 1-2-8 for Kyle.
That's interesting. That's a different reactive ball, and you hear him right there say, "Don't miss left," because he's not sure how flat it is in the middle of the lane. Simon threw a lot of shots there. I think he's going to have some hold. You just got to get his eyes on target and get his break point around 6-7.
Here's the number 4 seed, Graham Fa. And our first shot from the left side today leaves a 6-pin.
Found it interesting talking to him in practice. He said the one worry about this on the right lane, whether throw reactive or urethane, is that the left-handers typically hit the pocket a lot for 2-0. And so he really wanted to throw reactive if he could on this right lane, but apparently didn't break it down enough to felt like he could go to it yet.
All right, took a long way to get there, and he covers the 6. Go back to January 25th. Mid-County Lanes and Entertainment in Middletown, Delaware. Graham Fa was the 3rd seed. Knocked off the top seed, Jacob Putnam, in an all-lefty final, 277-200. Second career PBA title for Graham. His first in almost 9 years, 3,261 days. By the way, when he won his first event in 2016, he was the first Canadian bowler to do so.
Going with Black Pearl urethane.
Single pin again.
Yeah, the right-handers aren't getting it back from that far outside on either lane, but it looks like you can do that on the left side on the shorter pattern. At least Graham did on that shot.
Yeah, I think Graham is the closest thing to EJ on the left side of the lane in that he hooks it with his thumb in it, but he roll hooks it versus Jacob, who really rotates it a lot. First win in 3 years, but this has been coming for a while. Like you guys said, he's made the last 3
First
playoffs.
win in 9 years.
9 years. I'm sorry, but the last 3 years he has been he's been in the playoffs. So
yeah.
He's been very consistently one of the top players out here.
Incredibly, Kyle Troup not only without a title in 2025, but didn't make any of the broadcasts.
Extremely strange.
A lot of match play, if I remember right, Chris, at events, but he just could never elbow his way in.
Finished very high, had a couple of really strange bad luck finishes, and this is what you'd come to expect from Kyle in the playoffs.
Attention star S2 on the right lane for Kyle. I believe Origin EX on the left. In the 4th arrow.
You saw it, that last tracer is right around 10.5 down there at that 44-foot mark. So I think that was good news. I think that was a little left and it held.
And that puts 10 where they belong.
Well,
wow.
Okay, so you can do it on that left lane only, because if you get it to the right at 3.3 on that right lane, it's a 2.4810. So being the shorter pattern, you've got a couple of more feet of friction to get the ball back from.
Like he really caught that one on the up to get it started sooner.
We haven't seen a shot out that far out. Of course, the guys with the urethane played much straighter.
And Fa still looking for his first strike.
Fa's first shot on that lane, he left the 6-pin, and his break point was at 10. So, Chris, I'll ask you. You go first shot, break point's at 10, and you go 6-pin, and you miss 2 left of that, and you go light. I know what my answer would be. Is that a good sign?
Well, I guess I'd hit 9, but in general, I think I'd switch balls, because if you only have one board at 45 feet down lane, your chances of beating Kyle Troup are somewhere. I think Slim's on his way out the door.
Yeah, I mean, you're pretty good at splitting boards, but 10 is a 6-pin, 8 is a 3-pin. Yeah.
Thank you, no thank you.
Yeah, no, I'm not digging that.
No.
And no, I thought he might get a tap on that 7-pin, so another single pin for Graham Faw.
And there's a couple of things in play here. It is his first shots on TV, so he could be a little bit amped up. And we'll see if he can dial in, especially on this left lane. I expect him to just move a little right, slow down, and just catch it more. He has one of the highest rev rates on that side of the lane.
Yeah, and he's pretty good at rotating his hand around the side, too, when he wants it to get around the corner a little bit more.
When you referenced Delaware at the beginning of the season, he got halfway through, started leaving the flat sevens.
Yeah. And
changed his hand
tipping
position,
it, right?
And his ball, he did miss again. It was.
And Chris, I don't know if you knew this about Graham, but you know he does have a Specto back at home that he practices and uses, and he says it's really helped him when he comes out on tour. Now, Specto, folks, that's our strike track, and he says, man, it's just paid dividends for him being able to use that information.
The Kyle Troop we saw a week ago.
Appreciate it, Simo. EJ.
Appreciate it, Simo.
Boys.
That's a couple board move left, it looked like, from his last shot there that almost 9-pinned. And got a little right of the last one as well at the break point. And when you can lay it down left, miss it right, and it still makes it back, well, that's how EJ had 12 in a row, too.
I guess he's giving thanks to those guys for unintentionally setting him up.
I don't know that was their plan. But,
no, that's why I said unintentionally. Oh, boy. Here we go again, maybe.
Of the two-handers, the one thing that Kyle really does that separates from the other guys, he can get really end over end.
Yeah.
And so he's getting that ball to pick up in front of the tracer there, and it's starting to, the first shot went by it, and once it got there, it just accelerated. That one got moving up the lane as it got to 3, and so then it went back through the pins.
Still looking for his first strike, and he won't get it here.
I think the other advantage that Kyle has now, talking about that left lane, it got stretched by the urethane, but also him using reactive, his laydown is farther inside. He's away from what potentially could be the dry fronts of that left lane.
Yeah, the big hole that developed in the front for EJ and Simo, where when they touched it in the front, it got offline super fast. He's a mile away from that. It's a great point. I don't think Graham can stay in urethane on this right lane anymore.
Able to pick up that tough bucket.
And I think he's far enough behind that he's going to go ahead and probably give it a go after we get back from the commercial break.
6-pin, 3-pin bucket on the right lane.
Still without a strike.
I hope that first strike's the hardest to get.
Well, apparently it is.
I can almost guarantee if Kyle gets 7 strikes in the 6th and 7th, he's out of those urethane balls. He's using the same ball, but two different urethane balls on the left and right lane.
We saw it a few times last week. We saw it again in the first match. Winning that first game is not nearly as important as the second game.
Yeah.
Well, Kyle Troop went 2-0 in getting to this point in the number 12 position. He defeated Tim Foy Jr. last week, and he's throwing it the same way a week later than he did a week ago. He looks good. Hey, don't forget our quarterfinal coverage of the 2025 PBA playoffs continues tomorrow night on FS1 at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, right here from Thunderbolt Lanes in Allen Park, Michigan. Go back to March 19th, 2023, AMF Riviera Lanes in Fairlawn, Ohio. Jason Belmonte ran the ladder to win the PBA Tournament of Champions. His 15th career major. He's the 3rd overall seed, so he drew a first-round bye. And his opponent will be Chris Vi in a battle of two-handers.
It's a little firm.
And the messenger fails.
A little firm.
You filthy animal coming across like that, teasing me.
But he kind of, I think he got the result he almost expected. He just kept saying the shot was firm. He was hoping for a break there. Look how close that is, too.
So for a split second, it looked like it was coming in front. Then it looked like it was going behind, but it was going to catch it with the back part of the pin, and then it whiffs on it.
We saw exactly that same one in the first match.
Yeah.
I think Simo had one that kind of spun around it.
Yeah.
Tried to back tap it, but it didn't go over.
Denied.
Hey, a re-rack, please, Tony.
We'll have one left for this game. Race to 2, just a quick review. You get 1 point for winning the first game. You get 1 point for winning the second game. If you go 2-0 like Kyle did last week against Tim Foy Jr., that's it. However, if you saw the first match, we had Anthony Simonson and EJ Tackett grab a point, and we go to a 9th and 10th frame roll-off. Dialed in there.
Yeah, he is. Hey, guys, let's go down to the floor and talk to PBA champion and Brunswick Tour rep Mike Wolf. Mike, what adjustments does Graham need to make moving forward?
Well, we got a lot of them to make. We're going to go to reactive on the right lane, get a little bit further right and parallel on the left lane. Just try to get it through the pins a little bit better.
Thank you, sir. There's the reactive ball change, and his first strike of the game. Looks like a rhino.
Yeah, it's an entry-level ball for them, so it's a relatively weak ball. It doesn't look like it in his hands.
Solid cover stock?
Yes, I believe so.
Yep. Believe that's a solid.
About 18, just inside the tracer still, right?
Yeah.
11, 12.
18 to 10? Did it get to 10?
It got 10.
It did get to 10.
It got to 10, and it got 10.
All right, and staying with the urethane on the left.
Here, just trying to keep his breakpoint in off the gutter. Still got out to it, but
it looked like he squared it up a bit, though.
Yeah, it still got to 3. It got there a little differently, though.
Yeah.
A little later. Certainly helped to go through the pins better. And maybe he's right. Maybe that first one was the key. Once he's got that, now the lid's off.
Yeah, tried to mix it, couldn't make it. And the maximum score gets a little closer.
Good.
Location down lane was about the same. It was aboard left to start.
I think he just missed it a touch.
Maybe he missed it at the bottom.
Yeah. Just didn't get it started up quite as quick. The speed looked pretty good, and location looked pretty good, but
it may have been a hair faster. It was.
Of the shot that he said was fast.
Right.
Memorial Day weekend, the greatest spectacle in racing is coming to Fox. The 109th Indianapolis 500, Sunday, May 25th, only on Fox.
True battery racks. Graham Fostola has both.
Ooh, lucky
wow,
man.
That could have been disaster. Breaks up the big 4, just the 610. Still can't be shut out.
And you could see him say he got around it. So when it got to this spot here, it didn't go forward. It went sideways on him.
And you were talking about or mentioning the fact that he's so good at staying up the back and rolling it, and that time gets around it just a pinch, and you can see the change of direction down lane.
5 degrees of rotation makes a big difference when your rev rate's 500.
Well, Kyle clean through 8, but that max edge really shrunk.
Yeah, I noticed. It was just 21 to 7. It was pretty close, maybe a pinch quicker, but that's it. I mean, I noticed the 8 frame was faster than the 6.
No. Quitter on the messenger.
It's a little lazy. What do you think about that ball reaction, Chris? First one obviously looked good because it ended up in a great spot, but I mean that shot there just kind of looked a little lazy down lane.
Yeah, a little lazy down lane. It's not a super strong ball, and there's a lot of oil down there at the end of the pattern. So, but off of that, I mean, the one thing he can do is he can make it hook more. Most of the time when he throws reactive, he feels like he has to miss it, be a little nice to it so it doesn't overreact. So it's better than what he had before, but he's going to have to make some adjustments for game 2 since that's the lane he's finishing on. That really leaves Kyle in a great spot where he only needs 7 on his first shot too, no matter what Graham does here.
Yeah, this is almost like practice right now if you're Graham.
Yeah. The back half of this game, though, is way more what we expected to see from the jump.
So maybe an equipment change? No, unless he throws a tester on the last one.
I think he's pod committed with the urethane on that left lane.
Okay.
He likes what he sees.
Jump just seems to be too big for him to go from urethane to reactive, and with 37 feet there's just too much. The 23 extra feet of back end is too much for him to control. That being said, he doesn't even seem to throw a different urethane to check a shape, so he likes what he's got there. He's just got to give it some friends on the right lane.
Yeah.
All right, so nice little finish for Graham Fa, but Kyle Troup just pretty much has to show up in the 10th to get a point in this race for 2.
That's plenty.
That is more than enough for Kyle Troup to get the first point in the race for 2 and get a step closer to a semifinal match against E.J. Tackett next week. The race to 2 has Troup now 3-0 in this PBA playoff. The 2-time champion loves this event, as he told Kimberly, and right now he has the edge on Graham Fa. Will we have a roll-off? Can Graham Fa make the comeback? PBA playoffs continue on FS1. Well, let's go back to 2022, the PBA playoffs at Bolero Jupiter in Jupiter, Florida. Kyle Troup won his second straight PBA playoffs, defeating Tommy Jones in the race to 3 games to 1. It was his 9th career title. Kyle, he only won that year, but he's picked up a few. 12, in fact.
He's got 2 of those belts. I think he lets Guppy wear one.
Guppy might have just taken it. Probably has an outfit for it.
Oh, yeah.
Both of them. All right, simple math for Graham Fa.
Can you see Guppy? Hey, look what my kid gave me.
Dad, that's mine. Anyway, math for Graham Fa is simple. 1 equals a roll-off. And that's 1 win in this game. Otherwise, he's going to be knocked out, and Kyle's going to move into the semifinals against E.J. Tackett, who eliminated Anthony Simonson.
He's moved in a little bit, and he's got his break point a little further off the gutter, and now it's actually coming off the break point a little better. That one was just a touch slow, I believe, and that's okay for him. I think he can move a little further left and make it, or a little further right, I'm sorry, and create a little more room. Now, what we did see, though, in those previous matches, right? Last week, those two guys, and once they got to the second game of following each other with urethane, they didn't strike very much.
What was their high game? 207?
In that, I don't think anybody hit 200 in Jesper versus Butters.
Sorry, high game 200.
Yeah. Yeah, that was it.
Goes back to what Graham said in practice. He goes, they use urethane to control the pocket, but they don't ever strike in this arena.
And Kyle Troop gets a back tap on the 10 to get things started in game number 2.
Bad news for Graham is that Kyle made a couple of not great shots on that right lane by his own admission, and he didn't make him pay for it. And so now he got himself to, he knows he needs to make it pick up a little more, make it with either speed or hand. And
I mean, right now, if I'm Kyle, I'm feeling really good about what's going on based on my ball reaction and Graham's ball reaction.
Yeah, just on his ball reaction alone, I think he would feel pretty good. But like you said, Graham is not dialed in completely yet.
Oh, that's a huge one.
So, Chris, I think you touched on it beautifully, that left lane for Kyle. There is friction to the out, but he has success when he rolls it more end over end.
Yeah, it gets started a little sooner, and then it's a little smoother off the back end. He can use the hold that EJ and Simo created for him.
Hey, Graham 5 smacks 10 on the pick.
Good news for him. Didn't wiggle like the last one did on that lane.
Question is, what happens when he gets it left of that break point?
Probably not anything good, I would guess. But the right-handers aren't really getting weight past.
That's not good.
Well, as long as he can, if he's got a little bit of hold inside of that, it's fine. We haven't seen one in there yet.
No.
So it's only been light.
I mean, if he can't get that shot there to 8 and get it back, he's got no chance of winning.
Or he better bowl one of the best games of his life.
Oh, wrap around 7. My goodness.
Of course, you can't get the corners out. You can't beat anybody either.
Yeah, that one hurts there because that's a great shot.
Yes, it was. And that would have evened things up.
Yeah, the first one might not have been his best one. That one was an absolute ace.
Yep.
Graham lost the opening point, 226 to 210 to Kyle.
Even the A+ one's gonna strike.
I hear you, and I agree. The A+s do have to strike.
Yep.
The ball is firmly in Kyle's court right now. A chance to go up first by 20.
That was up the lane and left the whole way.
Nah. Yeah, that was a couple in at the arrows, you can see. 22 and a half.
Just a bad shot.
Yep. It's just a touch forward. The shoulder rolls just a little bit, and the elbow follows it. And then, yeah, it's rotation on top.
Okay.
Great spare, though.
Yeah, I thought.
Made it, Andrew.
Nailed that 3-6 pocket perfectly. No chop there.
good news for Graham is he didn't pay for the ring 7, and could have been a really ugly deficit early. Is now he's in the match.
Oh, I don't know about that one.
And he was right to be doubted.
That was a little in the whole way, too.
Fast 8 this time. So a couple of nice breaks for Kyle from a couple of errant shots. You know, every shot makes somebody happy right now. That last couple have made Graham a little bit happier now that he can get right back in this with the next 2 shots.
Yeah, I'm not sure when he walked off the approach after the 3rd frame that he felt like he could have the lead 2 shots later.
Yeah, right? After the ring 7 in the 3rd. Right now, 2 strikes here, he takes the lead. Chris and I still not sold on this choice of equipment for Graham, but we'll see.
That's a double on that right lane for Favo.
Now that looks great. Let's talk about a little bit. Why do you not love it?
Well, I love that because he just aced another one. He threw it perfect back-to-back shots on that lane.
Yeah. I mean, it is a low flaring ball, and it is a little bit higher
look,
G.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
You know as well as I do, you can make any ball look good when you ace it. It's when you don't ace it.
Yeah. What's it do when he gets it 1 left?
Exactly.
So we'll see. I think you and I both think a little ORG, a little bit more motor in it would help.
Yep.
But I don't live on that side of the lane, so.
And you're proud of it.
I'm not disappointed some weeks.
Yeah.
Other weeks, terribly disappointed.
Last time ring 7, this time flat 7.
Gets a little wider, which normally with his power means it gets off the edge a little better and goes through the pins more, and it went through less.
Yeah.
All single pins on this lane for Graham, a 6 and then a couple of 7s.
So a lot of times bowlers get questioned, you know, why are you throwing a different ball in the fill ball? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing, you know, during qualifying, you're giving up pins here, you're giving up pins there. It's because of this.
Yeah.
Because it looked great 3 shots ago. Now he's 3 7 pins. Now which ball does he switch to?
Exactly. What do you go to now?
Now if he switches again, it costs him another 20.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So you give up the 3 to hopefully pick up the 20 later. Kyle back-to-back bad shots, but still has the lead. Chance to get things back on track.
And he does. He mixes up. I didn't hear any complaints when he threw that shot. Take a look at
a
our
little jump left there.
Yeah. Look at the break point. Red and blue matching exactly at 8.0.
Well, that was a couple boards right at the break point too, so better off his hand, and obviously the end result much better. To go up by 15 right here.
Huge momentum shift to go into the break on a double and the lead.
A stalker of a strike for Kyle Troop. And there's the momentum that we talked about just a moment ago. 15-pin advantage for Kyle Troop as he tries to be perfect through the round of 12 and the quarterfinals. Graham Foss got to make a comeback when we return to the PBA playoffs on FS1. So Graham Foss got a little something to think about as Kyle Troop just threw a double at him. And Graham is up on the lane that's worked for him so far in this second game. But Foss got to get this point or he will be knocked out. And Kyle will have taken out the number 5 seed and the number 4 seed.
Playoffs come around. Kyle's a bad man.
He really is. He talked to Kimberly at the top of the broadcast about how he really thinks this event is suited for him. And again, so that approach, he's perfect.
All right, Chris, what do you think?
Well, I think as usual he nailed it. This ball looks great now. I mean, and that's one left. That didn't look like it had any problem coming off of it. And he's just settled in, and he's making great shots too. If you throw it like that, I'm not sure it matters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ironically, the ball that he's the best guys on tour with is the one that's giving him trouble.
Last thing he wants to have happen here in game 2 is a Dutch 200 game.
Come on.
There you go. That'll put an end to the Dutch 200 game.
Yeah, that looked like the Delaware move there where he just caught a little bit more of it. Came off of it a little bit better. I don't know how he gets
Caught
that
it
much
more.
better.
Did it look to you like he had a little bit more side roll? Like he tricked it just a little bit more at the bottom,
Just
or
a
no?
little bit. Not so much rotation, but I just think a little more up hit. A little hand
So
position.
just got after it a bit more.
I think so.
Okay.
The other voice you hear in the booth, by the way, joining Randy and I, is our Hall of Fame friend, Chris Barnes. Oh, wow.
What a big break that is.
I'm not sure we can even describe how big a break that is.
I think he really liked that shot.
I did too. What a huge break, kicking the 10 out late. My goodness.
However, take a look at what's happened to the maximum score.
Yeah, things have flipped. We have a developing situation.
We have ourselves a situation.
Well, it's been interesting. You know, Kyle was able to sweep. Simonson was able to sweep a week ago, but we haven't had a sweep since.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but whoever's won the second game in those 1-1s has won every roll-off as well.
You are correct, sir. Gotta go.
Boy. Oh boy.
Washed it out.
1, 2, 6, 10.
Doesn't escape this time.
No,
Yeah.
long right is just death.
He's going to try to get it over here to the left side of the head pin, cut it over into the 610. Or you can go right side of the head pin and ricochet off the head pin into the 610, but
where he stands with exactly how you drew it.
Yeah. Try to cut it. No. Not only does he not convert, he loses count.
Yeah, I almost like the other attack where you're going back up, you know, playing fallback because you guarantee yourself 2 basically. I guess you don't. You can take the head pin straight off of it. Bill O'Neill twice in a row.
I wasn't going to say Bill O'Neill.
Hall
That's
of Fame.
the first thing that came to my mind.
Hall of Fame Bill O'Neill. But wow, talk about a flip of things right here.
Yeah, how about a 30-pin swing?
Please.
And big break there for Graham, just leaving a very, very manageable single pin.
Last one was at 9.
Yeah.
This is a half-inch left of that.
3/4 of a board maybe, and the last one motored off of it, looked fantastic, and that one wiggled. Goes to our point, what we were afraid of not having enough motor in that to get it to hook off just a little bit left of the tracer down there. Now he gets to finish on that lane too. This one's not over.
What do you think's going through Kyle's mind now? The last couple of shots, now I get the Aaron shot on the left lane, but I mean, you and I both thought he liked the shot on the right lane, and it almost 2-4-10 on that lane.
It's the underrated part when we're at home. So you got a lot of adrenaline going on. Did you have enough feel? Did you really throw it as good as you think you threw it? The good news is they have access to Specto down there too most of the time.
Yep.
So they can reaffirm, hey, I threw it fast. Oh no, I didn't throw it fast. Okay, that wasn't it. And you can hopefully dial in a little bit of your own adjustment. But
And again, another week 7 pin.
All the opportunities there.
The bad news for Fod, he's only had 1 strike on that left lane. The good news is he doesn't have to bowl in that lane anymore.
Well, he hopes he does.
Oh, you mean roll off?
I do.
And Fa will have the order and lane choice as the higher seed.
And it won't be finishing on that lane.
No, sir. We know where he's going to start if we get there.
Kyle now has a chance to flip things up around though.
Well, Kyle has a chance. He cannot lock Graham out, but he can make Graham do a lot of work in the 10th. But can he get his mojo back?
He is. I think he has to throw this one just a little bit slower and just make sure he catches it. No, he doesn't want to move right. So this is where he really controls rotation, make sure he stays a little more end over end, and then just gets it. Make sure it picks up.
Light mix, light mix.
I mean, that delivery to me looked like he tried everything to make sure that he got all of it.
Yeah, and I thought his body position was great. You could see he was a little more upright. He's made sure he posted it, and it still barely.
And it barely got there.
Yeah. He really wants to take care of this right now. His bar action, you know, he's got some question marks after the last couple frames, and that was not what he was hoping for. He really would have liked to see that one tip off of that and go through him versus tickle him down.
Yeah, it really took its time.
Huge shot here. Really needs to make a very similar shot though. Move left off the one that went high in the 6th.
There you go.
That's pretty good.
Great shot.
And I think that the left lane is very predictable for him. He knows exactly what he needs to do on that lane, so it just now comes down to execution.
We got the one in, and then I think he moved left, but he missed right in the 8th. And so this was, this target line was in the same spot where he left the 610 in the 6th frame. I think he's going to move another one left off of that though too.
Does he bring his eyes in with it?
Yeah, and then he'll
parallel in
one. This one should be at 18 if he hits his target.
So parallel in on this shot
and
here,
get to
right?
4.5, 5 down lane.
Now the messenger falls short of the mark.
He got it just a little bit inside, caught the jet wash.
Caught the urethane jet wash, right?
Yeah. Made the move we were talking about. He just missed one extra end.
I agree. And you can see right there, based on that ball reaction, what the previous urethane balls did on that left lane. Those shots going down the left lane, very telling on that shot that Kyle just threw there.
205 for Kyle.
9 spare 9 for Graham Fa. Is that what we're looking at?
Yep. Needs to, 9 spare 9 would absolutely, or even be just 18 in some form.
Okay.
9 spare 9 is 19.
Strike 6-2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
strike 4-4.
9 spare would give him 87, and then 9 would give him 06.
And he's going to have to shoot the spare.
I tell you what, he has bowled a fantastic game execution-wise. It doesn't have a whole lot to show for it. 4 just flies around the top of the 7.
All right, first things first. He's on it. Now he needs 9.
Just all 9 spares and strikes. Pretty clean scorecard, but right now, at least 9 to force a roll-off.
And if he gets 8, we'll have a one-ball roll-off to find out if we're going to have a roll-off.
Man, that sounds like a lot of roll-offs.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's in his hand.
I think the one thing he's got to be cautious of is not trying too hard to make it strike on this shot. Just execute a good shot. We all get in that thing, and how many times when you've tried to make it strike does it turn out?
Yeah, it usually never turns out very well.
got the 9.
So happy to get 9.
We will go right into our 9th and 10th frame roll-off. And as Chris mentioned, so far, the guy who wins the second game has won the roll-off. That was Jesper Svensson, Chris Vai, and E.J. Tackett.
I'm going to start on left lane.
And yeah, there's the least predictable thing I've heard all day. I'm going to start on the left lane, says Graham Fa.
Yeah, I think he would have loved to have thrown a strike there and got a shot with something else on that right lane. Neither guy quite as comfortable as they'd like to be coming into this crucial 2-frame finish.
Graham Fa against the 2-time PBA playoffs champion Kyle Troup for a berth in the semifinals against E.J. Tackett.
Hey, look at that. 9.
It was nearly 8.
You can see the pin. It's over. It's so far over that it's got to be almost a 3-inch pin for him, and he's way up the back of it there. And the ball finishing behind the 8-pin, it's just dead.
Chris, thus far throughout the playoffs, Southpaws have managed a high game of 210.
When did you watch? They're not having a hard time hitting the pocket necessarily.
Can't strike.
They just can't knock him over.
Well, that's was Jesper and Butters last week. Same thing. All right. He's been a clinic on his spare shooting.
Has not missed a spare.
However, Kyle Troup now has control.
12 9s. 12 9 counts for Graham Fa in 2
He's made
games.
every one of them. That's to his eternal credit.
Well, make it 13 now, and you got 1 in the roll-off. Little filth coming across. Hey, 10-pin. How do you like me now? Watch this shot. Kyle Troup puts the great touch on it. Headpin's going to go to the sidewall.
Well, do you have 3 more of those?
Well, it looked like he stayed in the same spot, threw it just a little slower. I expect him to do exactly the same thing here as he did. Throw it just a little slower than he did in the 10th. In the 10th last to finish the game 1 or game 2.
Got to go. Never mind about 2 strikes and 1 to shut out Graham Fa.
And that's a big mental error. When he missed left on the last shot and felt it hold, he knew he had hold. That's just a bad miss. And it's something he hasn't done much of in the playoffs. That's for sure. But yeah, wow, that was there really fast. Well, the strike there up front, spare strike, still puts everything back on Fa. But you know when this spare is easy?
Never.
When you can't leave it.
Uh-oh. Wide left and a bitterly disappointing ending for Kyle Troup in this game.
That last shot that he threw when he left the flat 10, he got it in. You said jet wash. My eyes would have gotten so big because now I know that I've got left and right.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, it was a bad miss. And then to compound it with that.
It's the same thing he did in the first frame where he used that ball and he made it perfectly. So it's obviously a strategy he uses, but the ball's so much quicker. Mark to win.
That's a mark. And the number 4 seed, Graham Fa, has moved on to the semifinals of the PBA playoffs against E.J. Tackett, knocking out the 12th seed Kyle Troup. And once again, the guy who wins the second game wins the roll-off. That's 4 for 4 right now. And there you see on May 18th at noon Eastern on FS1, E.J. Tackett versus Graham Fa. Well, a reminder that our quarterfinal coverage of the 2025 PBA playoffs continues tomorrow evening on FS1 at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, right here from Thunderbolt Lanes in Allen Park, Michigan, the famed Strobel Arena. Coming up next, it's the Big East Softball Championship. For Randy Pedersen, Kimberly, Pressler, Chris Barnes, thank you so much for being here, buddy, and our entire crew. I am Dave Lamont. You've been watching the 2025 PBA playoffs on FS1.